Hey y'all, welcome back to Bombtastic Gaming. I'm Jake. Thank y'all for tuning in and all of the support. It is greatly appreciated. But if you haven't already, as always, y'all know the drill. Please hit the like, the subscribe, and ring that bell so you can get notifications when videos like this one drop. Okay, so for this one, we're just going to get into the Marvel United board game. Kind of show you what it's about. It's a little simplistic 1 to 4 person board game that shouldn't take, more than maybe 20-30 minutes to play it like a round, but who knows. But without wasting any more time, here y'all go and hope y'all enjoy this video. Okay, so now we have the game set up for all of y'all. And what we're going to do is kind of show you how it's all supposed to be set up. But I went ahead and already did this. So what you're supposed to do is you have this tracker, this dashboard right here in the centerpiece. So we'll zoom in here. So you're supposed to set this here, and then whatever villain that you choose, you put it up here. So for this scenario, we have the Red Skull. And each villain has right here, that's where their health tokens is. And let's see if you can kind of see it. It shows the health that they're supposed to have based on the number of characters. So here we will use this card, zoom out a little bit, and we will hopefully, we can get it to focus. So see, it shows based on the number of players how many health tokens they're supposed to have. So the Red Skull for 4 players is supposed to have 11. This is each villain card is special and specific to what they have. And then you have these 3 threat cards, and you can place them in any random order in here. And each one, so it's like clearing threats, rescuing civilians, and defeating thugs. So what is supposed to happen is the villain will go first, and you can pick any location at random, and you put their token here. So this is the, right here is the Red Skull's token, so we'll put him there, and you're supposed to put his little deck here. And then same with the heroes are supposed to be across from the villain, and you put them there with their decks. So for this scenario, we chose Iron Man, the Hulk, and Captain America. And in the setup, each villain has 6 of these threat cards. There are 8 location cards in the game, so you're supposed to pick 6, and then you flip over a threat card and put it at the bottom of each location. And then once the threat is taken care of in the area, there's a special thing underneath of it that you can do at the end of your turn if the character is on that location. Okay, so to start off, the villain will go first. And what happens is they draw a card from their deck, and then they reveal it. Well, this card right here shows the number of how many he can move, and then because it has the BAM, you activate the BAM effect on the card as well. And then what it is, after you do that, there's these little spaces here. Come on, focus up. And that means, so if you're at a threat where he ends, so a threat is one of these cards. It'll be in the location, and if it has that symbol, oh Lord, I need a better way to make this focus up. But if it has that symbol, you activate this wording here, if it's like on that card. And then what happens is these represent, once he lands, what tokens you put on that location. So all of these are villains only. So what would happen is we put the card here, and that becomes the storyline. And each hero will add to it. So the Red Skull would go 1, 2, activate here. Then what happens is he would do the BAM effect. So it says deal 1 damage to each hero in the Red Skull's location and increase his fear tracker by 2. So there's no heroes, so they wouldn't take any damage. And then you move it by 2. to that. And for the Red Skull, if he gets to 20 fear, he wins. Now there are other ways for the heroes to lose, and that is if they complete their master plan. This happens under any conditions, such as the villain achieves the conditions of the villainous plot stated on their dashboard if they have one. So his is to get to 20 fear. The villain must draw a master plan card, but their deck is empty. Excuse me, sorry about that. And then any hero starts their turn with no cards, both in their deck or in their hand. That's how the heroes lose and the villain wins. The heroes win if they defeat the villain, which, to be able to damage the villain, heroes must first accomplish at least 2 of the 3 missions. So these 3 things, which are clearing threats, so just resolving the threat card at the location and then getting the token, rescuing civilians, so when they get there they can rescue them based on the actions of the cards. So that would require one of their cards to have this little heroic symbol on it, which I'll explain it a little more as I draw the hero cards. Or defeating the thugs, which is dealing like 1 damage, which is a fight action on the card as well. And you remove them and you replace them on these cards. So you only need to clear the threats of 4 of the 6 locations to beat the threat card. You need to rescue 9 civilians to clear that one, or defeat 9 thugs. However, the randomness doesn't matter for these missions, because if like you get the thugs but the other 2 are not done, what you do is you just pick it up and you slide the other 2 over to the right, and then you would, there's a little special thing on it that says here, so like the villain acts after every 2 hero cards. Then this, the villain is now vulnerable to damage, so that's how the heroes have to damage him. They have to complete 2 missions. The third one is not required by any stretch of the imagination. You don't have to do it for any reason. And to damage them, you just have to get one of those attack action cards. And then on the back, though, the rules book kind of explains all the summaries. So to deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location, meaning health from the henchman, health from the villain, or defeating a thug. The heroic action, I said, is you rescue a civilian or place a token on the threat at your location. So like these cards right here have 3 heroic actions. So you got to place 3 heroic tokens to beat that threat. And then let's see. So for the hero's turn, so after he goes, so what happens? Oh yeah, so we're still resolving this. So now he's here. You would place 2 thugs here, and since there's spaces, you can do that. And then you start next to the situations, and his card, as again stated, so you put one thug on each of the 2 next locations. This is his location with this little symbol, and then so over here at Stark Labs you would put 1, and at the Shield Helicarrier you'd put 1. Now, if there is no more available spaces, what basically happens is you would put that many, you just would put them back into the pool of tokens, which is like considered all these extras over here, and then you follow the villain's overflow chart. So for this it says if a civilian or thug token can't be added to a location, increase the fear track for 1 for each token that you couldn't add. So that is what happens. And then after that, so like at this turn, we would add 1 to each. So now both Stark Labs and the Shield Helicarrier is full. And each location, I didn't explain this, sorry, so I'm kind of backtracking. Each location has what their starting is. So this has 2 civilians and a thug, and then 1 empty space. So that's how they start out.
Then how it goes is, if you have no missions completed, all 3 heroes, or in the event of, if it's like a 1v1, the heroes get to go like 3 times in a row. And then once you complete a mission, only 2 heroes get to go. And then the villain goes, and then the other 2 heroes, so you can work it out any way that you want as the heroes decide. So what would happen is each take their turn. So you reveal like the hero card. So this one is Iron Man's, and it says he has a special ability and then a heroic token. So you may draw cards until you have 3 in your hand, and then you get a heroic action. And he had no moves, so he can't move. So being at that location, he could just say, okay, I'm putting a heroic token there on this location. Well, then we'll say the Hulk goes. So the Hulk gets this card, and it deal 1 damage to everything else in this location. Discard all civilians there. So he gets a heroic action, and because when the heroes go, they can add what has been done prior to them. So like the Hulk gets a move token and the heroic action token. You don't have to use them. But so like say he could use the move token and then go over here, use the heroic token to rescue a civilian, and then it says his special ability is deal 1 damage to everything in the location. So you would just discard, meaning you would put it back into the pool, and then each thug is 1 damage. And because there's a threat here, he would take 1 of the health off of the like henchman, that one is Bob, Agent of Hydra. And then Captain America would go, and it says give this token from a pool to another hero, and then he gets another heroic action. But he could also get the heroic action and the move as well. And then after he goes, then the Red Skull goes again and would do it. Now again, like I said, once they say we rescued a bunch of civilians, so now this moves over, and then this would be cleared, and then now the villain goes every 2. So it would be like, so Iron Man and Hulk would go, then the villain. Then like you could go Cap and then choose Iron Man, or the Hulk could go again. You can just, the players can work it out. And then you got to be on the same location as the villain to do the damage to him. And that's pretty much it. It's like a race of the game. It's pretty simple. It's called Under Pressure, though. Like once the villain's under pressure, once he gets to go every 2 times. And that's kind of really it. Oh, so also the hero. This is important. So heroes usually take damage when attacked by the villain or henchman due to activated BAM effects, which is what here, and that's by drawing the card with like the BAM on it, like I had showed earlier. And then for each damage a hero takes, they must discard a card from their hand, placing it on the bottom of their deck. If a hero discards the last card from their hand, they are immediately KO'd, which means you lay down the hero's piece indicated, and it must be ignored by all game effects, both negative and positive. Then immediately resolve the BAM effect on the dashboard. This could cause another hero to be KO'd, creating a chain reaction. At the start of the hero's next turn, their piece is upright again, and then they draw a step, and that player would draw 4 cards from their deck. If a hero plays their last card during their turn, they get to perform their full turn before being KO'd. Also, there are these challenge cards here, which basically you can moderate, heroic, and hard challenges. So each player removes the card from their hero deck removes the wild card, sorry, and then removes 2 wild card, and then each player removes the wild card and double wild card from their deck. So wild cards just mean you can perform any action, and it just makes it more challenging for the players. And then the crisis tokens, they're special effects by the like henchmen, and they represent various nefarious influences. Simply use them as described by the text on the cards and dashboard. So if the dashboard has anything to do with like crisis, with the crisis tokens, you would just follow the rules on the cards. There is a solo mode for this game. I won't get into it. And one last thing. So even though you have the token pool, it's unlimited. So even if there aren't any in the pool, you can just use whatever you want to delineate that for like the heroes. And let's see. That pretty much, I think, covers this game in the simplistic form. There are, if I didn't state it, but just to reiterate it, there is 7 heroes in this base game to choose from and 3 villains. The 3 villains are the Red Skull, Taskmaster, and Ultron. For the heroes, you have, like what I used, Iron Man, Hulk, and Captain. You have Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Black Widow, and the Wasp. That's starting out. There are other expansions, and we have one, but I won't get into any of the extra, but it's, because he's one of my favorite characters, even before the movie, it's the Deadpool. And he comes with, I was just trying to be careful to flip it over, it comes with Deadpool the hero, Deadpool the villain, Deadpool Challenge, and Bob, Agent of Hydra. So just a couple different add-ons to the game. But it's a pretty simplistic game. It seems a lot of fun. I look forward to actually playing it, and maybe we'll get some gameplay for all of y'all. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this quick overview of just Marvel United. It's a 1 to 4 player game again. And until next time, y'all have a blessed one and take care.